I mean, terrible television is just not the fucking word to describe this program, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Sports Jedi Media Network on a Wednesday night. Here for your AEW Dynamite live review. I am your host, PGH Chris TV. My other my other half here, my Dynamite Bro, Hoss, will be joining me on the top of the hour here. We will go to commercial and we will talk about some stuff that we have not been able to talk about for the past few days. And I apologize for that. My personal schedule has been all over the place. Late to the Redemption party. Nobody gives a shit about that pay-per-view anyway. But we're going to talk a little bit about Redemption tonight. We're going to talk about Dynamite, and we're going to talk about much more here again on the Sports Jedi Media Network. But first and foremost, you guys know the program is always sponsored by Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes and the Sports Jedi Network, always wiping out the competition. Use our promo code TextDude, save 20 to 59463, and we'll send you a nice code for 20% off your next order over at Dude Wipes. Make sure you take that. Make sure you take advantage of that promo code before the summer is over, as well as Blackout Coffee. Go to Blackout Coffee, use promo codes Rumble or Sports Jedi 20 to save yourself 20% off, as well as my affiliate and the official sponsor of the Dynamite Bros, G Fuel Energy, which we will hear from on later on in the show on the top of the hour. Guys, this show is fucking boring. I don't even know how else to describe it. I don't know another word. I'm just going to be straight up and honest. This show sucks. The pay-per-view, Redemption, sucked. Now, people are being a little bit dramatic, saying that it was the worst pay-per-view of AEW's existence. You could argue that it's up there. But it is no question the worst pay-per-view of 2026 for this company. It is the worst wrestling pay-per-view all year. You could argue that. You could generally argue. Now I know there's been some bad ones this year, but this show is very, very hard to watch. It's all match after match after match. And the two segments that we get are just bland. There's nothing going on. Redemption was full of AEW Dynamite matches. Redemption was Dynamite Light inside Canada. Obviously, what I wanted to happen, which that was Will Ospreay turning heel at the end of the show on Kenny Omega with the Death Riders, clearly did not happen. I thought that was very ridiculous because that show gave us nothing to look forward to for tonight's Dynamite. And tonight's Dynamite was boring. Again, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know. I'm not sugarcoating it. This show sucks. Was this as bad as what we saw on Monday night? I don't know. I don't know what was worse. The segment we got at the end of the show tonight was just as boring as what fucking Joe Hendry and Danhausen did on Monday night. I'm sitting here asking myself, what the fuck is this? How is this leading up to Wembley Stadium? All they did was give each other just like Willow did in her celebration. All Kenny Omega did was talk about their timeline on how Kenny wins his AEW title and Will Ospreay's this, he's his mentor. It starts at the end there when Kenny Omega slapped Ospreay. I'll give him some credit. It actually started to heat it up a little bit because you saw Ospreay really get into the zone. He wasn't stuttering. I think Kenny Omega is still boring on the mic. He got a little bit decent towards that part of the segment there to close the show. But there's no real animosity between these two. There's no real story going in between these two. The story is Will Ospreay was joining the Death Riders, yada yada. Kenny didn't want it to happen. all this bullshit. The story is revolving around Jon Moxley. And now what we saw in the beginning of Dynamite tonight, it will they did this thing where the Death Riders are standing there and Ospreay's walking and they stop him, and it's like, is this this is what it's gonna be, Will? Whatever. Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay are gonna have the match on Collision I think it's tomorrow, which I may tune out. I may tune in. I think the Jeff Hardy Nick Nemeth match might be tomorrow. I think TNA might be live in Philly. I don't know if they're live. If they're live, I'm watching TNA. But I actually might check out Collision tomorrow because it's at 8 o'clock, or at least the first hour. But I don't understand why Will Ospreay just didn't turn himself heel. And again, to end the show on Redemption, everybody's talking about, oh, Kenny Omega turned heel on Will Ospreay. No, the fuck he did not. And Kenny Omega explained that to you. He explained that to us just a few moments ago, where he says he did that to show us how he felt in the moment. That's no real heel turn. Ospreay's not going to be the heel going into Wembley. I am going to fucking accept it. My bad for wanting a little bit of fun. My bad for wanting something different. In a good way. Not just giving the title to fucking Darby Allin to get a headline different. Different in a way that it's actually going to generate real heat. But no, we're still fucking around doing baby faces versus baby faces and all of pro wrestling. This was a terrible segment. This was a terrible, terrible segment. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are going to hear from G Fuel. We're going to shuffle. I'm going to introduce you guys my guy, Hoss, which you guys know, my other half of the Dynamite Bro. And we're going to let him start on what he wants to talk about. I had a nice little 8 minutes there to get a little bit off my chest. When we hear from G Fuel, we're going to hear from Hoss, and we're going to get more in depth into this review.
All right. Before we keep this energy going, shout out to the sponsor of tonight's stream, G Fuel Energy. If you're watching this live, you already know. We don't do slow reactions. We don't do low energy. We stay locked in. And that's exactly what G Fuel brings to the table. Zero sugar, loaded with focus, and built for long streams just like this. Whether you're grinding, gaming, or watching chaos unfold with us, G Fuel keeps you going. Hit the link in the description, use code PGHChris, and level up your energy the same way we do on Sports Jedi Network. Let's get back to it.
I'm Tom Hannafin from TNA Wrestling. You're watching the Jedi Sports Network.
Shout out to Tom Hannafin. Shout out to G Fuel again. Use your promo code PGHChris. You guys will save a nice discount. Enough with the bullshit. We got Hoss joining us tonight, guys. I told you Hoss will be joining us here in the top of the hour. He is here. Hoss, first off, happy Wednesday. How's it going, my friend?
Always working, my friend. Always working.
Damn
we got to
right,
do it for
dude.
the people.
Damn right, man. I mean, again, I apologize for everybody. What's new training schedule? Or I've been training at a new site. All this stuff. The work schedule basically hasn't aligned the last 3 days, which at least it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for this shitty pay-per-view. Side note: Wembley, we will be live after the show, so you guys don't have to wait for us to go live after the next day. Me and Hoss most likely. We'll plan more of it. We'll discuss more of it when the time comes. But we most likely will be live at the end of the month after All In. Hoss, I thought this show was fucking boring. I did not like a lot of aspects of this show. This show sucked. I thought the pay-per-view sucked. What do you want to start off with? Anything you want. Anything that happened on this show, anything that happened on Redemption leading into the show. I'm going to give you the floor tonight to start us off on what you want to get into, because this is just fucking terrible television. And I don't even know where to go.
Well, I'm going to just say we're going to leave Redemption in the past, because there's not much to talk about it.
Yes.
It really did not play out on tonight's episode of television, because we had championship title fights from people who just won on Sunday. No more contenders, no new stories, just random matches. So, but it's to be expected watching AEW. So, Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Maya World's defending her TBS title already against somebody who in Persephone, who's I like and I want to see her do well. But again, why are we feeding this match already? This match should be built up, and there should be a feud. I think that's an example of what you're talking about with these new champions just defending their championships. Why? Why the fuck is Andrade defending his championship against Jack Perry?
Trust me, I agree with you. Maya World is a TBS title. Persephone is just a jobber today for Tony Khan. Her internship is in overdrive, and it's a damn shame because he is actively burying the CMLL championship. He's doing the same thing with Hechicero too, but no one talks about it. And for Andrade, Jack Perry and Nick Wayne, and I like Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne had a great showing at Redemption. I will say that. I'm impressed with Nick Wayne. I wish Christian Cage would come back to put him over, but whatever. But Andrade should be still battling the Callis family. I don't know what's going on with that. And the Trios Championship, no one cares. But this episode, I will say it was effective for All In. It wasn't the greatest, but it served some purpose. The matches were more disappointing than anything, but the storylines are going somewhere. I will say that.
Yeah, well, yeah, the matches were just matches. I mean, this is the same shit every fucking week on why I'm complaining and what I was talking about in the 8 minutes before you joined. This is the same shit. It's match after match after match with the segments not being as great. We'll talk about something that a lot of people are talking about right now. And I think I have a little bit of a different opinion. It's the Willow Nightingale celebration. I think that's the most important thing to come out of the show tonight. So
I love it.
We'll start off with that. I had mixed feelings about it. I'll tell you why. I love Willow Nightingale. I think she is the perfect baby face in pro wrestling. She defines what being a baby face is. And I waited a long time for her to get a big moment like this for her to shine. So this is nothing against her personally. This is against Tony Khan. This is against the bookers, the creative, because this is a bad time for her to fucking have that title, in my opinion. You have Tekla, who is the hottest heel in the business. And you're going to tell me you're not going to have her go into Wembley Stadium, which would make better television with her and Mercedes. Isn't Mercedes' whole story supposed to be, well, she dropped all these fucking useless titles and her redemption arc is now, no pun intended, her redemption's to win the AEW women's title at the pay-per-view that she was first shown at the first Wembley? Why isn't she the face going into Wembley and Tekla the heel? But no, we had to get Willow Nightingale in there. And again, this is nothing against Willow Nightingale. That's where I have mixed feelings about this. I didn't hate the segment. I thought it was a little bit cheesy with her crying and all this shit. But again, she's a baby face. I thought the crowd made this segment. They were loud. They enjoyed Willow. So I'll give them props on that. This is the first and last time I will ever say this. I've never been so happy to see Mercedes Moné, because that shit was getting long and it was dreading out with Willow Nightingale in the crowd, because she just kept talking her basically a timeline on when she won this title in the last few months. Also, when Mercedes coming out, a side note, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. But she wasn't terrible here. Again, she played the heel role, which is she supposed to do in this moment, and the crowd booed the shit out of her. So I will give them props for that. I just have mixed feelings because I think the timing that Willow Nightingale has the title is a mistake, in my opinion. On a side note, they showed a guy booing Mercedes Moné, but chanting CEO at the top of his lungs. Make up your fucking mind. This is why these wrestlers don't get over in a real way. This guy's CEO. I'm like, what? Anyway.
Chris, he loves some Mercedes Moné. He's trying to play his role, but he's just confused. He doesn't know what to do.
Oh, he looked very, very fucking confused. I think Hoss, what'd you think about this segment? Again, not bad, but I still think the better television and the better match going into Wembley would have been Tekla and Mercedes. And again, this has potential, but I'm afraid that this might have been their peak because I don't think Willow's fresh off winning that title and the crowd's really eating it up and whatever. It's the first time we've seen it. I just don't know what else from here, unfortunately, that they could do to really spice things up.
I'll tell you this. I did love this segment. I did. But with Tony Khan, it seems like he wants to be a traditional booker right now. He actually cares about faces and heels right now. Any other time, he'd be like, oh, we'll have heels versus heels, a face versus face. But we're going to Wembley, so we must have a face and a heel. So Willow is a great face, like you just said. Mercedes came in with strong heel heat. You could call it whatever you want to, go away heat or shut the fuck up heat, whatever you want to call it, but it's heat nonetheless. She came in there and then she did save the segment because the fans were crying just like Willow. It's one thing I'll say this, and I don't want to be disrespectful. Shout out to Jill Nightingale or whatever her mom's name. We don't care about that. We don't. We do not. We care about the kayfabe Willow Nightingale. We're not caring about the real life what you got going on. We don't. Right? That's why I want to preface that, not being disrespectful. Because they say she was dealing with depression and whatnot, so we do not want to sneeze at that.
I agree with what you're saying. It's just it doesn't make for good television. That's just the harsh reality.
Right. So we have to keep it real here. But with Mercedes, I will say that she plays the role of the boogie woman of the division. That's what she wants to be. She doesn't want to be a babyface in AEW. She doesn't think the fans will ever let her be one. So she doesn't want to be booed as being a good girl. So she'd rather be booed as a villain. So I'll give her that. This was the best segment of the night. It went a little long. Like they give a lot of latitude to these women's segments because I guess they rarely have them. So they let them do whatever. But this was the best segment. It just went a little long.
It was long as shit, dude. And by the way, JD is going fucking nuclear right now. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, that 34-minute overrun. The overrun.
I accidentally turned my my TV sound up. He's in his car right now, fucking going crazy. Boring. This show is fucking boring. I agree, but yeah. Side note there, yeah, he's going fucking nuclear right now. Oh, I'll listen to it in the morning before work. But anyway, yes, back to the Willow stuff. Look, yeah, I like Willow, and I do, and I think again she plays the role very well, and it's gonna be a fine match considering, again, and Mercedes brought that up, right? That their history as well. I just think the timing. This is the same thing with in the. At least they have a clear fucking face and heel in the women's main event scene. I will give props to that because I'm going to fucking go off again about Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. This is just buddy with a little bit of, okay, you slapped me, now I'm pissed. At least we're here that we get a clear hair, heel, and face. I can accept that if they're gonna continue to do this, Hoss, I'll accept it. But I still think you don't have two of the best heels of the division. I think Tekla's the best heel in the women's division. MJF's the best heel in the men's division, and they're not in the fucking title match. That's just my problem. But again, they're doing it a clear face and heel. I can appreciate that.
To go back to Tekla, I think Tony Khan was scared to have Tekla and Mercedes because they would have made Tekla into a babyface. They were going to boo the shit out of Mercedes. And I think Tony Khan was scared of that.
I agree with that. And I if that's the case, kind of smart for playing it safe with Tekla because I don't think you want to turn her face. Not even close. She's a great fucking heel. But to me, it's like Mercedes literally had a chance to be a face. Like, there's no fucking reason she can't be a face. Again, she's obnoxious, and I think a lot of people like myself don't like her and would still naturally boo her. But let's say it's not like she doesn't know how to be a face, first off. It's not like she's one of the most popular wrestlers from her time before she joined AEW. She lost all those championships, and she was gone for a while. I just don't understand why this isn't a redemption story for her and why she's not getting the crowd behind her. I think that's better for her. This is the same shit with her being a heel and her saying some cringy shit to get some cheap heat. It's going to be the same shit going into Wembley. That's my problem. At least with Mercedes being a face, it's something new and it actually makes sense. And we get we get probably better television out of it. That's my reason why I think Tekla and Mercedes would have been the better match.
I agree with you. Mercedes should have been a babyface. We talked about this months ago.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, Mercedes doesn't want to put in that work. She gets to naturally be herself as a heel. It doesn't take any work. She's naturally obnoxious. She's insufferable. That's what she is. If she has to switch up her whole demeanor, she actually has to do some work. And Tony Khan doesn't make her do any work. Her work is just in ring, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you a great match." Oh, another thing, have you noticed? Does she have new music? It doesn't sound the same.
It starts different. No, yeah, it sounds totally different. It definitely starts totally different, but it sounds the same. But you still get that C. Yeah, she probably did change it, but you can't really tell too much because it still has like that same like CEO type of like rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought I was the only one that noticed it because I was like, "Is that new?" But anyway, yeah, she doesn't want to be a babyface because she actually has to do some work. She don't want to do that.
Listen, I agree, but this is bad television. Again, this was okay for what it was. I don't know what more we're gonna get out of this. We'll see what happens. And again, one other thing too. It looks like we're definitely gonna get a trios match on Mercedes. Mercedes don't do Collision. She ain't working on the fucking weekend, so it's gonna be on Dynamite because we got the Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Landon Cross come out there to attack Willow, and then we had the Brawling Broods because they're fucking terrible, and they're bad.
You don't like the Brawling Birds?
Their vignettes are fucking bad, bro. Did you hear that vignette earlier in the show? That was terrible. And Alex Windsor coming, and when she comes out there for the save and she's hanging on the ropes and she's like, rah, bruv, come, mate. Like, shut the fuck up.
Have you noticed this is like her third tag team since she's been in this company. They've been trying Windsor with a lot of people. They tried it with Tony Storm. They tried it with Mina Shirakawa. They tried it with Riho. No, this is the fourth team.
Why didn't they just put her with Jamie Hayter from the fucking start? You knew they were both from the same region, yada yada. Jamie Hayter isn't the big time player she used to be, and that's Tony Khan's fault, by the way. So this is bad. They're boring. I don't want to say they suck, but they're fucking boring. Their vignettes.
I was out on the Birds when they were up here beating up men at the bar.
I just don't know what else they're gonna have a trios match. Most likely Willow and the Brawling Birds versus Mercedes and the Divine Dominion. Like, I hate matches like that. I hate the fucking can you coexist, and I hate matches where all the competitors have implications. That just do it. It's a Fallout show. We don't need the fucking go heavy on the wrestling, just like Kev says on the Go Home show, on the Go Home shows with any company. Because he made a good point about that last week on our Saturday show this past week. Look, I'm just thankful I'm going on fucking vacation because I got one more Dynamite review and then Dynamite Bros are taking a break. I will be on the beach and I will not be watching this fucking slop. I will watch the highlights on Twitter as I'm in the hot tub with a fucking Rona in my hand.
There you go. There you go. Live life, brother. Live life.
Quick note before we talk. Oh no, go ahead,
Collision is on
go ahead.
Thursday. Collision's
Yes,
on
Collision
Thursday this
tomorrow
week.
night. Tomorrow night live. I was just gonna get into that. We're gonna do before I get my Collision preview, because we're gonna talk a couple more things here and say goodnight. I mean, this show is just it's bad television, guys. We're gonna talk about most of the stuff that happened. Don't worry, I'm not that guy that cuts the review short because the show sucks. I'm gonna give you guys something. You guys are all joining here and supporting us. I'm gonna give you guys good stuff. Do not worry about that. But these companies and these products, Hoss, have to give us stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But while I pull this up, I know this is completely out of touch, but I'm pulling something up before we get into it. And the last few weeks we've incorporated some other shit in the AEW reviews. At least we didn't get fucking this Dan. At least we didn't get anything like we did with Danhausen and Joe Hendry. That was the worst thing, dude. I quick story as I see what's going on for Collision. I play my adult rec basketball league every Monday. This game happened to be at 8:15. I get in the car with my buddy. I'm not driving, so I get to go on my phone. I turn on Monday Night Raw. The first thing I see is a bunch of midgets in the fucking ring. I'm like, what the fuck so I went back and I believe that you are cursed. I was just like, what the fuck is when I got home and I got to relax and digest, I actually was just, wow, that was fucking awful. Quick Collision preview before we get into the main thing here. Hoss, the Bang Bang Gang, which I got a story to tell you, versus the Dogs and the Death Riders. I'm watching Redemption with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And we're watching Bang Bang Gang versus the Dogs, which the crowd gave no fucks about, by the way. When Carl Connors had Juice Robinson in the ring with the chain and they had that spot, nobody gave a fuck. And you heard the announcer say the Bang Bang Gang, and my girlfriend was like, what? Like, what? Who? They're called what? And I was like, yeah. And I had to explain, like, guns up, all that. And she was like, that's just the most stupidest fucking name I've ever heard. Like, and she said, and she thought of what we all think of when we hear that name. So I just want to throw that there, Hoss. That will be happening. So it's going to be the Death Riders and the Dogs. So I'm assuming we're going to get, like, all members of the Bang Bang Gang, like Ace Austin, all that. So I don't see where
10-man tag.
Yeah, so I don't see how that has any importance there. We're probably gonna get a squash match here. Athena, Billy Starks, and Diamante, Ring of Honor, royalties in action versus Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor, and Hakuzi.
Hazuki. Don't you remember Hazuki from the Owen?
I do remember Hazuki from the Owen. I wish Tony Khan wouldn't remember her, but unfortunately he does. And then we got Will Ospreay versus Daniel Garcia, which Will Ospreay is making a rare Collision appearance. Interesting.
Yeah, you saw how he did Daniel Garcia tonight. Garcia got to get some get back.
Yeah, I agree. And a quick side note too, Hoss. So you remember last year they did Grand Slam Mexico on like a Saturday?
Yes.
Or something. They're doing it next Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday, we will be reviewing Grand Slam Mexico Dynamite. Which
Speedball Fletcher.
Mark Davis versus Ospreay, which I'm gonna go off right here in a second. But I'm gonna be calm and collective real quick. Just talking about some updates that AEW did announce for tonight's show. So I do want to incorporate that. Again, that's more interesting and more to talk about than the actual fucking shit we had on the show. But yes, they will be doing Grand Slam in Mexico next week, which I love that because there'll be an Arena Mexico, bro. That's gonna look fucking great on TV.
Oh yeah, because remember we had Grand Slam Australia on what was that Valentine's weekend this past year.
on another Saturday after it was pre-taped on a Saturday because they were in Australia. And then they did Grand Slam in Mexico last year. It was on a Saturday special for like an hour or something. Like it was like what they did for the golf course show. It was like a special like that nobody gave a fuck about. But they had a big match. I think MJF and Mystico was on there or something. Unless they did that for CMLL. But
that was last year at Grand Slam.
Yeah, so like they're doing it this week on a Wednesday, which is great. I fucking love it. Again, we're getting that trios match with the Brawling Birds next week on that show, and then I think. See, I don't. So you think Speedball is going to beat Kyle Fletcher at that Grand Slam show next week for the international title? You think Kyle Fletcher is going to retain?
If you want to do it right for All In, Speedball should win.
Who would go against that All In?
You could have a fatal 4-way at All In. You can have Speedball, Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshita.
I don't mind that.
Make it a ladder match if you want to. I don't care. It'd be interesting.
Well, they're going to do the Casino Gauntlet. That was also announced today.
Yeah, because the thing about it is Speedball has a mini push going on. You got to pay it off somewhere. You got to do it.
Should have been Kevin Knight at Redemption.
Fair.
TNT title. But again, the booker doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, booking yourself into a corner. He don't know what the hell he's doing. He don't.
He did the match way too fucking early. When it should have been, if he was going to do that a match early like that, it should have been Darby.
And you know I don't like Speedball barefoot, but him and Fletcher make magic when they wrestle together. So it's going to be good.
Yes, they do.
It's going to be good.
The fuck they do. And Hoss, this is again. I'm thankful to go on vacation next week. But this should be a good show. But again, it's going to be one of these shows where it's like, okay, we're gonna get you. You know, it's like a sweet treat. You know, you get your diet, you go clean for the whole week, and then you get your cheat meal. This is our cheat meal. A fucking good show.
It's gonna be a better Collision. It's just not gonna be a bunch of jobbers on the card.
And one more question, because that has to do with this before we get into the main thing here. Does this show feel fucking boring, or just something's off without MJF being on TV?
Yes, it's boring without him because he's the most compelling character. A lot of these other people cannot entertain you without wrestling. They must wrestle to entertain you, and that's the saddest part.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Tony? Our guy, Tony. Shout out to Tony. Thank you for being here with me and Hoss tonight here on a Wednesday night. The Dynamite Bros covering everything AEW. Tony says, what's up, fellas? I talked to Kev last night. Crazy. Y'all account got hacked. I was running what was going on with y'all content. Yeah, man. Look, I know he's doing everything he can to try to get that back. I know it's been a process. Hopefully everything can go smooth in the future, but you know, we're still grinding. The content's not going to go away. We still have our voices. That's one thing that can't go away. That's one thing that YouTube can't take away from us, is our voice. So we're going to be here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting us on this new channel. Again, hopefully, you know, whatever we, Kev, everybody could do, hopefully we can get it done soon. But again, thank you, Tony, for being here. We appreciate it. AEW runs way better with MJF's champion. Yeah. And that leads into the main event, to my main topic, Hoss. But Tony has a great point when he says this.
Oh, yes, he's correct, because look, we got some long days ahead. We got Kenny Omega as champ right now, who can't give you a good promo. You got Will Ospreay up next, who can't give you a good promo. Bruv. It's all about Bruv. He gets a little.
It's all about Bruv.
Yeah, he gets a little animated, like, I'll beat your ass, Bruv.
He did that tonight. He got fucking pissed.
I mean, I get pissed too. Kenny Omega would bitch slapping me all over the damn arena. Yeah, I'm get mad too. So fuck him. But yeah, this is where we are. We got two guys who are boring on the mic. They get a little animated. And people are like, oh yeah, they're great promos. No, they're not. They're not. Stop lying to me. Stop lying to yourself. But yes, we need MJF back, but sadly, he won't be champion until probably about December. And Moxley is the biggest mouthpiece on this show, and that shows you there's a problem.
I don't even know where to begin, Hoss, with this shit. So the main event segment. Yo, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know the game we played Saturday about the angles on Redemption?
Yes.
We talked about we should incorporate that for Dynamites. Name the angles for the matches that we saw today.
We'll do that real quick. What was the angle for Jack Perry and Andrade?
And Andrade, Jack Perry, and Nick Wayne. We got a new champion. He just ran the match. There's no angle there. Nothing.
Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, and Kyle Fletcher versus Bro Dito and Speedball.
They're just reopening the wound of Fletcher and Bandito. That's it.
Maya Road versus Persephone TNT title. This shit, no fucking angle at all.
The burial of Persephone keeps going, and we watched Maya World for a few times now. I don't know what her finisher is. She gets a lot of flash pins, and like she has like this what's this move? It's like a fall away slam cradle pin. That's what she won with tonight.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't even about her. They put in Sheeta and Statlander in this spot in a feud that no one cares about. No one cares about Sheeta and Stat, and that's on the booking because Sheeta is a charisma vacuum. I saw somebody say Sheeta's doing her best character work. Who cares?
What? What the fuck have they been watching? What fucking show are they watching?
These are the sickos that we run into online.
If I want to watch the show they're watching, if that's the case, because I don't see it on AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays on CBS.
I thought I misread it. I had to read it again. They said Sheeta is doing the best character work.
She doesn't fucking speak. She can't speak English.
I guess they like the knee lifts that she gave Maya World on Sunday. She hit her like 4 times with knees.
No, they like something else.
What, Sheeta? What do they like?
Oh, come on. You know how these fucking nerds on the internet go crazy for Japanese wrestlers.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm crazy about one of the Joshi wrestlers here. I ain't seen it in a while.
So am I.
I wish she'll come back, but
I think Julia's fucking banging. I think she's smoking. So yeah. I'm not gonna say I don't hate, but there are a lot of people that study that fucking women's New Japan Japanese shit. I don't.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's a lot more better than Sheeta right
they're
now.
Gooners.
I hear you. But Sheeta's not the one you goon after, partner. I'll tell you that. But we've off the rails.
Shit!
What's the next match?
Bad. I think those are the only 3 matches announced. I meant Moxley versus Commander.
Moxley doing a favor for jobbers. He like, you give me your favorite jobber of the week, Tony. I'll make a star out of him. It'll be a nice exhibition for the jobber of the week. That's your Moxley match, the jobber of the week match.
And now I didn't write this on my notes because I was not paying attention to it because it was 10:15 and I had to get ready to listen to this stupid segment. I was making my lunch for work tomorrow. What was it? Was it the Ricochet and the Demand versus the fucking Pockets, Cassidy and O'Reilly? That was the main event match tonight. What's the angle there? Collision?
Yes, they try to make the trios matter. No one cares. They try to make Ricochet a champion again. I said it months ago. Stop playing with Ricochet. Put him in the main event or leave it alone. We're gonna just put him in a trios match. This is a failure. This is a failure. And you put the lethal twist in there to help them win, to say the conglomerations to still make them look strong. No one cares. Where's Mark Briscoe? He's the only person I like in this damn group. Where's Mark Briscoe and Willow's the other one?
Honestly,
I don't care about nobody else.
I'm not a big fan of Mark Briscoe, but I'm with you. At least he's had some credible matches in the last few years. I can give him props for that.
Who's buying those yearbook T-shirts? Who's buying them T-shirts? Who got a Kyle O'Reilly yearbook T-shirt? Who got a Rod Strong T-shirt?
We know.
I get the Willow T-shirt. I will say that I'm not getting any one of those guys T-shirts. I'm not doing it.
Listen, the only T-shirt I'm not buying anybody's AEW merch. I buy AEW merch with the logos on it, like the AEW All Elite Wrestling. I'm not buying no wrestling except Adam Cole. I do have an Adam Cole jacket, that I do wear in the winter here on stream.
You got an A-Bay shirt?
I have a Bebe hoodie. I had that. I had the shirt with the hoodie in the hoodie.
Okay.
It's like a zip up hoodie. It's nice.
But yes, those are the angles of the week. There are no
angles of the week. Not a damn one.
And people will tell you AEW got stories. They'll tell you this. No, we just broke this shit down. We just broke it down that quickly.
Speaking of something that I wish that could just be quick, we got to talk about this main event segment. Hoss. First off, Kenny Omega just looks terrible. This is not the same Kenny Omega that came out in 2019 with the badass sunglasses, and he looked so cool. He just looks fucking hideous and awful in 2026. I mean, he has half a man bun, and then he has his fucking hair down and wearing a suit.
It's awful.
Again, he sounds like he just doesn't. He wants to get it out, but he doesn't know how to get it out. He just looks like shit. I don't know how else to put it. That's just the best way I can. He comes out there and just yaps, and Ospreay comes out right away, which thank God. But he's yapping about Ospreay, which I didn't understand a fucking thing Kenny Omega was saying that entire time, talking about
kindergarten.
Let me say
show and tell.
You didn't believe I could do it. Well, this says otherwise. And then he starts slapping the shit out of Ospreay, and Ospreay starts talking about how he came from the UK to United States ever since he came to AEW when he was gone. This was fucking bad. And I'm going to tell you why. Everybody's like, and I said this right before you joined, oh my God, Kenny Omega turned heel at Redemption. Oh my God. No, the fuck he did not. He told us in the promo, he said, I did what I felt in the moment. That's what he felt in the moment. And if the story here is Will Ospreay being Kenny Omega going full-blown heel, this is a fucking mistake. Kenny Omega heel by himself? No bueno. And then what? You're going to have Will Ospreay just this face. What if he wants to get involved with the Death Riders again? What if something happens on Collision tomorrow? And he finds himself back in with the Death Riders. At least I still have that thought if he doesn't go complete face here. My point is, even though I do want to clear face and heel, but my point is, there could be potential for Will Ospreay to maybe still kind of do that in the next couple of weeks of television, maybe realign himself with the Death Riders or something. I don't think that story is completely over at all, not even close. It's definitely going on. They will play a part in that match at All In. This segment, again, this is what I talked about where MJF not being involved. Why the frick? Because I've already used a lot of F-bombs today. Why the hell couldn't we get a triple threat? Imagine this segment, Hoss, in a triple threat and MJF is out there. Fuck Jon Moxley. Get him away. Jon Moxley should have never been a part of this. Death Rider should have never been a part of this. The television would have been better. This is your main event. This is the first match that was announced for the freaking pay-per-view. Tony Khan has had this graphic made for a whole year, and he could not wait to flash this up on screen. And the build is lackluster. Hoss, the floor is yours, dude. Take it away. What do you think about this match on the screen and what we saw here to close out AEW Dynamite?
This match right here, it shows you why it's a gift and a curse to like AEW. The gift is you got a great graps match. The curse, the builds are going to be absolutely atrocious. These men cannot speak. And they'll be like, oh man, they can't speak. They speak well. I'm like, okay, they can speak the language. They're boring. Boring. That's what the fuck they are.
BORING.
If they're not doing hidden blades and V triggers and one-winged angels and Tiger Driver 91s, they're boring as shit. That's just it, man. I'm tired of having these milquetoast, boring wrestlers. And Tony Khan, he know what he's doing. MJF, he know if MJF was involved with this, he would take the shine off of both these guys. He's trying to see what his product's going to look like with both of these guys in the top of the card. And this is what you get. They're boring. And if the ratings don't go down, I will be surprised because these men, they can't entertain you. Like if they did a backstage brawl, would you be entertained? If Kenny Omega if he threw paint on Will Ospreay's car, would you be entertained? If Will Ospreay pulled out the forklift like Swerve Strickland and crushed Kenny Omega's front lawn, you might be entertained then. But Tony Khan, he don't know what the hell to do with that. Everything is in the ring. If you constrain these two men to in the ring, you're going to get boring results. These men need someone to write for them because they cannot entertain you without doing some flips or moves in the ring. And that's the gift and the curse of AEW. That's the gift and the curse.
The problem is, Hoss, that is the gifts and the curse of AEW, but at least to me, I'm not, again, we're not the typical sickos. We're sickos. We sit here on a Wednesday night, every night, knowing this shit sucks, and we talk about it, and we pay our hard-earned money. No matter how we consume it, we pay our hard-earned money to consume this product. So, when they're not giving us anything, and again, with the main event, it's just this is just I don't even know where to go from here, Hoss, because the problem is Tony Khan knows that that's what his diehard fan base likes. He knows that again, we say this every week, you say it every week, Kev says this every week, and he doesn't watch the product consistently. He may watch a few pay-per-views here and there to cover it with us on Saturday, but anybody can see this shit from a mile away. That the fan base, Tony caters to the fan base. He doesn't cater to what. I'm not saying he needs to cater to anybody specifically, but the thing is, he doesn't do, in my opinion, wrestling 101. Why can't he book for wrestling? He's booking for fucking sickos that sit online and book dream matches, and Tony makes them happy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not booking basic wrestling logic. What the little things that get people over in this business. And it's showing with two of your biggest stars.
That's why nobody's over. You just hit on the head. You hit the nail on the head right there. No one is over because of this stuff. And the thing about he's booking for these sickos. Where are the sickos going? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do on Wednesdays? They gonna watch Stardom? Are they gonna go watch the G1? Are they gonna go watch GCW? No, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna be watching Dynamite. That's what they're not going any fucking
The
where.
Super Bowl could be on a Wednesday night, and they're watching fucking Dynamite.
There you go. They're not going anywhere. So stop booking for people that are gonna already watch your product. The WWE has the same problem. They're booking for people that are going to watch this same shit every fucking week.
I don't know who the fuck they're booking for, dude. Their booking sucks. I don't even know who. I don't even know who they're booking to. I know we'll get into more of that on Saturday, but who the fuck are they booking to? That's what I'm saying, Hoss. Wrestling right now is TNA is probably going to be the best show of the week. And I actually caught NXT a little bit because I wanted to hear what Cruz Montana had to say. I never hated it. I don't like the WWE for reasons, like with the names and all that shit, but that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, I checked out NXT for a little bit. Not bad. Seems like Cruz Montana is going to possibly win an NXT title with D'Angelo and going to a program. Not bad. Grayson Waller had a good segment. Not bad. And Lola Vice and all that stuff still playing its thing. So NXT has some potential there, but wrestling as a whole is just fucking TNA. I don't mind TNA. Again, they're gonna have a good show when they're in Philly, but it's pre-recorded 9 to 11. They're not gonna get the hot buzz, and I don't care for like what are we doing in wrestling right now, Hoss? In the last 4 months specifically.
Do you know who's gonna save wrestling, Chris? He was on TV tonight. Hangman Page.
I didn't bring him up for a reason because I don't know what his fucking purpose is. We saw him in the beginning with Ospreay. Hoss, talk about? I'm gonna ask you what the frick is his purpose?
He has none. He's really just a waste of skin right now. Because what title hunt are you gonna put him in? The international title hunt, the TNT title hunt. I mean, if you think about it, him and Kevin Knight do have a little beef from the trios match when they were trios way back when.
Tony won't remember that.
You're right. He won't because he doesn't remember when Queen Aminata and Tekla had beef.
That's something that we went on a rant before going into Redemption. I went on here right after the show and I said, why didn't, or after Revolution was over and MJF was like, I can't, or Hangman, I can't challenge for the world title. We should have had the feud between Kevin Knight and Hangman right there after Redemption. Instead, no, we didn't see Hangman forever, and boom, Kevin Knight was all of a sudden this new world title contender.
Now, before we go any further, I do this is one thing I got to talk about Redemption.
Trust me, I was gonna ask before we end the show, before we end everything. I was gonna ask you your takes from Redemption. What came out of it? But yes, what came out of it? What do you think about Redemption?
I have not seen a more one-sided ass whooping in AEW outside of a in-action jobber match than what I saw on Sunday. Kenny Omega beat the living dog shit out of Kevin.
Oh yeah. It was, dude. That was, again, and that's when I tweeted at you, bro, because I was like, the match it's not flowing. It's not gonna be this Dave Meltzer banger. The angle's coming at the end, and it did, but I hated that angle at the end personally. You had it right there. You had it right there, Ross. Right there. Moxley was telling you to do it. It was everything. And again, it was everything that I said that would make everything just, oh my God, yes, finally. It was right there. And Ospreay, dude, you had no idea. I was up. I actually stood up for this shit. And I regret it still because I went to work but, dude, I was actually awake for like, yes, it's gonna happen. And then as soon as he did that, I turned my TV off. I swear to God, I turned my TV off and I watched the entire thing back when I woke up. I was freaking furious.
You would be go.
It was right there.
Yes, it was right there.
You had television right there for the next 3 weeks.
I had a drink in hand, and I'm just like, I was like a Jurassic Park. I was like, son of a bitch, he's gonna do it. I said, Tony Khan's gonna fucking do it. And I'm just like, that makes too much fucking sense for Tony Khan to actually do it. And lo and behold, this bastard didn't do it. And then Kenny Omega gets up and does a one-winged angel.
That drove me nuts. That's actually when I turned it off. Because you're going to tell me, because Ospreay did that with the Death Riders, and then when I remember I was sitting here, Ospreay was in the ropes, and that's when Kenny did the one-legged. I turned it off right there because I'm like, now Kenny's the fucking heel. They just did this thing backwards. That's why I was like, yeah, Hoss. I don't know, man. Again, I don't know if it's because they didn't book it the way I wanted it or the way I said it. I promise it's not that. I truly believe that makes the most sense in what we're dealing with here. I don't know.
What really went bad was now what happened. You can't make Will Ospreay really win the championship at All In because he doesn't have any friends now. Because the Death Riders don't like him now. Kenny Omega don't like him now. The Elite, all of the Elite, all he got is Hangman on his side. He told Hangman, "I don't trust you." The United Empire is not fucking with Will Ospreay. How can he win without help? How? Because you said it yourself. Someone's going to get involved in that match. Who's going to be backing up Will Ospreay? Who? Swerve? Which we don't know what the fuck he is these days. Where the fuck is he? But
I forgot all about Swerve.
But yeah, we got Kenny Omega who actually has backup, and Will Ospreay is public enemy number one to everybody. You're going to put a belt on.
Hangman's going to be Will Ospreay's backup.
One man. Just one man.
But that's weird because he's technically aligned with the Elite.
Yeah, we gonna break up the Elite again?
Again, they could have done that at Redemption. Redemption had potential to at least end it with something, because you had Ospreay and Moxley go against the Young Bucks. That should have set something up for the main event, and it fucking did the complete opposite. That's why I thought Redemption. I thought it was the worst pay-per-view of 2026 for the company. And I said that about Forbidden Door. Oh, boy, was I wrong.
Oh no, man! Forbidden Door cleared Redemption with no question. It cleared it.
Bro, the last three matches are some of the best three matches all year. Like I just thought the concept was stupid. That's why I said that at the time. I just didn't understand it wasn't. But anyway, yes, this is the worst pay-per-view of the year for AEW.
Man, Tony Khan wants to have baby faces. Go all in on baby faces in the women's division. They're the only likable baby faces. Willow's likable. Maya World's is likable. Man, no one's liking Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega right now. No one cares. Nobody cares. Like, somebody will tell you that Kenny Omega's a draw, and I'm be like, where? Where the fuck is he a draw at?
I know you guys can see me a little bit right here, but before we end the show, I know we do want to talk a little bit about Redemption as we are, because again, schedule conflicts for this pay-per-view, which thank God it was this one. Again, we will be covering Wembley as soon as it's over, since it will be, I mean, Hoss, they'll be at 2:00 here. Tony Khan will have a field day. What's one thing from the show, other than the Kenny Omega stuff, that caught your eye, that you didn't like, that you liked? What's something here that you think is worthy of closing out the show today?
Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, is still one of the most entertaining wrestlers going. Because I'm telling you, he was more entertaining than everybody on that card. Everybody. The old man is still. This coming from a Jerichoholic, a certified Jerichoholic. I have no shame. I will tell you that. I'll tell anybody that. But if you watch that 5-hour show that we can't get back, you cannot tell me that Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley, Cope and Cage, none of those men were more entertaining than the Painmaker. I'll wait. You let me know anybody, any other male on that card was more entertaining than that man on Sunday.
Look, I know we clowned we clowned Jericho a lot last week. We
Mhm.
clowned him Wednesday and we clowned him Saturday. What do I always tell you? I believe he's top 10
Yes.
of all time. I've been saying this for years. I truly believe he's one of the top 10. I'm not going to say professional wrestlers, but because I don't think he's one of the top 10 like wrestlers, but his name, like what he's done, like I can't even explain why I think Jericho's great from his younger days. I can go on and on about that, but my point is he's still fucking doing it. Gotta give him props. I still think some of the shit's kind of with him. I still don't think there's a clear direction with him ever since he re-signed with AEW. It was a lot of hype, especially when he came back and he kind of just did Ricochet, the Stadium Stampede. I kind of wanted to see him in MJF. I don't want to see him in Will Ospreay. We saw that at Wembley at the first one, and again, that'd be two faces. This is why MJF being the world champion is important. He could, no bullshit. MJF could literally feud with anybody in this fucking company.
Yeah.
He is the only person that could feud with anybody in this company. Because he knows what to do. He knows what to say. And he can have a great fucking match. So
I miss Samoa Joe.
oh my God, yes, so do I. I think is he filming Twisted Metal? That's why he's not here.
I think so. I think so.
I do miss Samoa Joe as well. For me, I mean, the Tekla and Willow Nightingale match wasn't bad, but it's just I didn't like the result. I
hated the finish. I hated the finish.
I hated I agree, but I'll tell you what I liked. I actually didn't mind that ladder match there we got with Speedball winning. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
and the right winner won. The crowd was on. It was hot for that moment. That's probably my favorite part of the whole show. I was actually sad when that was over because the rest of the show was and that really didn't mean much anything. But I mean, it was a fun match and it made sense for a winner to win in his hometown. So,
Chris, you remember that discussion Kevin Nash had with Raquel Rodriguez talking about she needs to wrestle bigger.
And look at her now.
Willow needs to wrestle bigger. I'm tired of her winning by flash pin. Because she beat Tekla with a flash pin on Sunday. She beat Persephone a couple weeks ago with a flash pin. Well, it might have been a couple months ago.
When she was a TBS champion, that match.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
She got her wrestling like she's a little ass girl. Her name is the Babe with Power. She need to be giving folks doctor bombs to fucking death. I'm dead serious. Let her wrestle like Brody King. Like she up here wrestling like she's Mercedes size. Like if Mercedes or Tekla beat you with a flash pin, I'll buy that. They're small women. Willow is like where Nia Jax is trying to get with her size. Willow is a good wrestling size woman. She should be beating the piss out of women. So that's my rant on that. Stop wrestling so fucking small.
I agree, man. I agree. And again, it's okay to be that lovey-dovey baby face, but I do want to see something not different because I think what she does works for her. It clearly showed that tonight, but I do think a little more aggression and a little more, rage. I don't know. I think it would be better I think it'd just be better television and it'd be better for her.
I need her to win it all in. She needs to beat Mercedes.
Oof. I got to see how the next couple weeks play out because I'm mixed on that one.
The reason I say that is I can't have Mercedes being champ without Tony Storm in this division. Cause that's what Tony's gonna build up to. He's gonna build up to their rematch. Mercedes just had a belt this time.
I just don't know what Mercedes is no doubt the main player, the most important piece to this women's division. I don't know what she would do without the title. I was thinking if she's the champion, she could. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because I agree with you, but just the based on the way the women's division is right now, it's not strong at all. Let's be honest. I don't think she's a draw at all, but people think she is, and I don't know. It's tough with her.
I would have Willow win it all in, and then let Mercedes win it all out.
Yeah, Mercedes win. Okay. Yeah, I agree because there's no way you can do all this like we had tonight for Willow crying and all that shit, and then she just loses it at all that to lose it to Mercedes in a few weeks. Again, that's another reason why I think Tekla, like I mentioned earlier in the show, she should have been going into this match, not Willow Nightingale.
The bigger question is, what do you do with Tekla? Like, is she going on hiatus for a while?
Probably.
What is she going to do?
Terrible. That's terrible if she does. She's what's she gonna? Well, she's just one of the Stardom's trios champions. She'll probably fucking mingle with Stardom.
I mean, what random match is she gonna have it all in? She's gonna be on that card. What do you put her? It can't be the TBS title. You can't move her down that quickly.
No, and you can't have Maya World. I think she should keep that title for a little bit. Because she's active. She's been wrestling on Ring of Honor still. She's wrestling. Shout out to Jedi. She's wrestling on Dynamite still. So I'm happy we saw her. I don't know, dude. I have no freaking clue.
Like, you made her a main eventer, and like, what are you gonna do with her with your biggest show? Like, because there's no Toni Storm in sight. I mean, Athena is gonna probably be in a Casino Gauntlet match. What big name woman are you gonna put her against that could take a loss? Because Megan Bain and Lena Cross gonna go against the Brawling Birds. She's already her and Statlander wrestled many times already. There's nobody left for Tekla to go against.
I have no idea. You're right.
That's why I wanted that draw to happen at Redemption, so you could have had a triple threat for All In. Again, Tony Khan knows what the fuck he doing. He don't know.
He don't want to. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and he doesn't want to do anything that could be good. He's allergic to good. Like in the last fucking 4 years.
Because do you know how bad it would look if your former women's champion is on the pre-show at All In or misses the card altogether? How bad that looks. That's a burial. That's what burying somebody looks like.
This is the same guy that had Jamie Hayter make her grand return at Wembley Stadium on the pre-show.
Oh yeah, when she was beating up Soraya's parents or friends.
I went on a rampage on me and Kev's show on Saturday that weekend. I was fucking pissed. I was so mad. Anyway, Hoss, that has been our AEW review and a little bit of redemption here. Final thoughts to close out the show before we say goodnight. Final thoughts on Redemption, final thoughts on Dynamite before we talk about this again on Saturday, but final thoughts here to close out the show.
The road to All In has potholes. I tweeted about it earlier, and we do have potholes. We'll know where the fuck we're going. Make sure your tires are fucking aired up, and make sure your lights are on, because man, the road is bumpy to All In, folks.
Indeed, and me and Hoss will be in the car, taking the ride, and you guys will be joining us here for that. We want to thank you guys again for joining myself, Hoss, Knuckle Brew here on the Sports Jedi Media channel, always every single Wednesday for AEW Dynamite post show. Next week we will be live for Dynamite. I will give you guys more of an update throughout the week. In the next 2 weeks, there will be no AEW Dynamite review, at least for myself, on the 12th. So I will return right before the week after, getting ready to All In. Again, thank you guys. This has been PGH Chris TV, Hoss Knuckle Brew, Sports Jedi Media, and we're out. Peace.